The next section, getting to know you. I've only got a few short questions here. So question number 1 in the getting to know you section, which is where you can get to know me. If you watch each week and pool all the answers, you'll have a pretty good insight into me and how my brain does or doesn't work. Okay. So the first question I've got here is, what's your favorite childhood memory? And this took a little bit of thinking about, to be honest. It wasn't a clear-cut one, but I have a couple of perfect moments from childhood, and probably my fondest was one afternoon lying on a beach. I think it was Scarborough. I would be about 10 years old. So Scarborough's a coastal town on the east coast of England, kind of northeast-ish. It's just one of those beautiful summers, one of those long summers. We were away on holiday, the whole family, just lying on the beach. The sun was kind of behind us because the beach was kind of facing north, so the sun would be to the south, which would have been behind. I was just laying on the beach with my eyes closed, and I could kind of see the sun through my eyelids, you know, when it's really bright. And it was just, for like half an hour, just laying there, kind of on the edge of being asleep, but being awake, almost a meditative state. And it's just tranquil, and I could hear the seagulls, I could hear the sea, and just lying there in the sun. It was just magnificent, and it was probably 15 or 20 minutes, but it just felt like an age, like an eternity. It just seemed to go on forever. Just one of those perfect moments in life. Barbados. It kind of, you know, probably doesn't happen often. Probably one summer in 10 where you get that. We'd had a few sunny days, and this one we're all on the beach. Dad did what my dad always did. He rubbed olive oil in his face and arms and chest, and literally baked in the sun. That was his suntan lotion, olive oil. Basically any cooking oil, but I guess he preferred olive. So that's just a really fond memory. I mean, that entire holiday, but just that moment, that 15 minutes, half an hour, however long it was, just one of those perfect moments that you just recollect forever. Okay. Oh, here's a question that I read and that tickled me when I read it. Especially given the situation I'm living in, but to any upcoming projects you've got that you're excited about. And of course, typically living like this, the answer would be kind of no, other than trying to get out of this mess. But I actually do have I've mentioned it before, I think, the idea of doing product reviews and trying to grow the channel a little bit by buying things that are of interest to someone in this situation. Call it Offgrid Living if you like. You might call it survival. It might be prepper adjacent. But just when you're living in a field, little things that you might find useful. I gave the example of a whisk, because I don't have one at the minute. And whether that's a manual one or a USB powered, a lot of these gadgets now can be recharged with USB. And because I've got the solar panels, it's an option. So I'm looking at, because Temu is the only place that I can think of that accepts PayPal properly. I was trying AliExpress, but every order I created didn't have PayPal as an option. I don't know if it's because I'm in Spain or what. It just wasn't a payment option. Although I have bought from there before and it was an option. So maybe something's changed. Or maybe it's my account and me. I don't know. But Temu I can order and actually get delivered here to the tent. Giving the address, the man in the tent. Cala de la Torrevieja. So I'm thinking of, you know, spending a few euros on a box of 1, 2, 3 euros gadgets, doing unboxings, doing openings, and whether it becomes a separate channel or whether it's a separate playlist on this channel, I'm not sure yet. It'll probably start just as a sideline on this channel, but it might get hived off into a new project. It's a new project either way. And then I think I mentioned the ultimate dream was to get like the EcoFlow Delta and the EcoFlow Glacier, however you want to pronounce that one, which is a fridge So having an electric socket here in the middle of a field, and maybe having a fridge to plug into it. But I might start with smaller scale with an ice box, a small one of those picnic coolers, a 12-volt one, something like that. But so that's a project that I am kind of a little bit excited about. I'd like to give it a go. An extra string to my bow, an extra iron in the fire, as they say. So yeah, that. So when I saw that question, that just came to mind. Okay, next question, folks. Which reality TV series would you go on? Can anybody answer on my behalf? Anybody know me well enough? Let's see whether you get there. Reality TV series would I go on? The correct answer is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if we can see if anybody answered. No. The correct answer is none. Not interested in that crap. No time for any of it. I think the very first series of Big Brother, I kind of half watched. Naked and Afraid. If they drop me somewhere where there are fig leaves to quickly grab. That's a good one. I like that one, Patrick. Yeah. Survival in the wilderness. Me and a female partner both undressed. That's not gonna work. There's not much to hide, but okay, folks. So that's the answer to that one. Let's moving swiftly along. I think the final question, and we've already kind of touched on this, and it is harkening back to I've asked this question of myself previously on this show. I don't remember which episode, but previously I asked do you resemble a famous person? And I've been told 3 or 4 times that I look like Russell Crowe, which I never really saw, but it was just curious that 3 or 4 different people, maybe even half a dozen people, have said it, or it's been said at half a dozen different times. Probably not now with a big beard and everything, but I think that when I was clean shaved, if you look back, I did a video about my rapid aging as a tramp, back when I had longer hair and a longer beard and it was all a bit unkempt. Before Karen arrived on the scene and became my my personal hairstylist and grooming expert. Hello, Karen. But yeah, people said Russell Crowe, but now obviously the more obvious one has to be the Ernest Hemingway. If you saw those pictures in the community post that I did a few days ago. It's either Saturday or Sunday, wasn't it? Where in the UK am I from? Sounds local to you. Hello, Karen. I'm local to everybody. I'm a northern lad, originally from near Barnsley, in South Yorkshire. But when I was 15, we hopped the Pennines over into Lancashire, to Morecambe. So I might have picked up some Lancastrian, some Morecambian, Sandgronian as they call themselves. A Sandgronian accent. It's possible, I don't know. But we did also move around a bit. I lived in Penrith for 6 months and Dumfries in Scotland for 6 months. Maybe closer to a year, actually, Dumfries. So I've moved around a bit, folks. Worked in London. So yeah, I don't know. You pick this stuff up, don't you, as you move around. Lived in other places, lived all over the UK. Or travelled all over the UK and 3 months, 6 months, a year at a time. And now I'm Spanish. Not quite. No exactamente. Español es muy difícil para mí. Okay, folks, that was the getting to know you section. It is now complete. We now move on. Join me on Sundays for TrampCast. It's the weekly look at the successes, the failures, the happenings in my life as a tramp, a homeless guy, a hobo, living in Torrevieja in Spain. It's at 5 o'clock Spanish time, Central European time. It's at 4 p.m. GMT, UK time. And 10 a.m. US Central time. Love to see you there, folks. Okay. Delta Mike, out.